This is the WWE Monday Night Raw December 23, 2024 full show results video which takes place at TD Garden Arena in Boston, Massachusetts. The show opens with Drew McIntyre walking through the arena and through Gorilla on his way to make his entrance and get on the mic. He talks about getting beat up at Hell in a Cell and that he went back to Scotland afterwards because a very close family member passed away. So people are feeling sympathy and guys in the back are saying, "I didn't know." Well, maybe if you cared enough you would have asked. Guess how many people phoned him to check how he was doing physically? One person. These past 17 years he's been led to believe they're one big happy family in the back, but it's all BS. His brother John in Scotland wouldn't stab him in the back to take his spot, but people like Jimmy, Jey, and Sami 100% would. After he bled out at Hell in a Cell, the second he was gone you instantly forgot about him, so from now out he gives no more. Drew McIntyre will take and he'll continue to tell the truth, and that's that the real villains in WWE are CM Punk and Roman Reigns, and everybody that's ever wronged Drew McIntyre better sleep with one eye open. Sami Zayn interrupts him and says Drew is angry and he doesn't have to believe him, but he's telling him, man to man, he didn't know what happened in Scotland, he thought he was recovering from Hell in a Cell. That's what everybody thought, and whether he wants to believe that or not it's up to him, but Sami will level with him. You talk about 17 years? 22 years in the game for Zayn. He's been through all of it and he's had loss he's had to put to the side and go to work the same week. The sacrifices, the birthday parties, the weddings, the funerals, he's missed them all and put unnecessary stress on his wife and kid, but this is the life they chose as WWE superstars, and they are lucky to be WWE superstars. It's not just them either, it's every single person sitting in the stands and watching at home, struggling at work, struggling economically, struggling to get past their anxiety about asking for next week's NXT off, and Drew still thinks the world revolves around him? All because he was told he was the chosen one? Just because you're mad doesn't make you special, and what Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso and Sami Uso do has nothing to do with him, but if he still wants to walk around angry pointing fingers after all this time, fine, no one's stopping him. If he still has a problem with the Bloodline, Sami has no problem being his problem and fighting him right now, and Drew says the truth is it's not just anger, it comes from a place of pain, and he believes everything Sami said is his truth, with so much passion, but it's not the whole truth. Zayn can fly back to his family every week, but he has to travel across the whole world, so he's gonna remain calm and tell Sami the truth. He knows the result of this fight. He's never beaten Drew McIntyre, so he suggests, since Zayn isn't 100% and his wife and kid are in the back, he suggests he walks back there, takes their hand, and leaves the arena because out of everyone in the Bloodline, Sami is the least of his worries. Zayn says he's right about the wins and losses and that he hasn't been 100% for a couple weeks, and that the smart thing to do would be to go home and try to get healthy, but he'd so much rather do this, and Sami decks him. Punching his way into the corner, Blue Thunder Driver countered with a headbutt. McIntyre lays in wait, but Jey Uso makes the save and sends Drew packing. Backstage, Pure Fusion Collective approaches Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville says she wants in the vacant spot in the Women's Intercontinental Championship tournament. He says they're out of their damn minds and he's already filled the vacancy they caused with IYO Sky. Back from commercial, Sami Zayn and Jey Uso are chatting backstage. Zayn is grateful to Uso for having his back, but he wants to back up the big game he talked by fighting Drew McIntyre himself, and Jey accepts his reasoning and says he's got next and wishes him luck. Then we saw a WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship Tournament first round match between Alba Fire vs IYO Sky vs Natalya, and the result of this match was IYO Sky won the match by pinfall with the diving moonsault on Natalya. In Judgment Day's clubhouse, Finn Balor is mad about not having any titles, and he and Liv Morgan snipe at each other through JD McDonough and Raquel Rodriguez until Dominic Mysterio snaps and says he's gonna stand up and go get a match against Damian Priest. Finn is mad because he thinks Dom is saying he's better than him, but Mysterio assures him he's got a plan and goes to chat with Adam Pearce. Then we saw a match between Akira Tozawa vs Chad Gable, and the result of this match was Chad Gable defeated Akira Tozawa by submission with an ankle lock. Post-match, Gable hangs onto the ankle lock and Otis gets in the ring for a confrontation, but American made back down. New Day are backstage when Dominic Mysterio rolls up and they're glad to see someone who can understand. He says he didn't like Big E, but he doesn't approve. Xavier Woods calls him broke-ass Tom Selleck. The next match happened between Damian Priest vs Dominic Mysterio, and the result of this match was Damian Priest defeated Dominic Mysterio by disqualification when Finn Balor attacks Damian Priest. War Raiders make the save and Priest lays Balor out with a super kick and follows it with stomps in the corner, and the babyface trio lay Judgment Day out and Damian raises their hands. We get a pre-taped sit-down interview with Seth Rollins, and he says he's tried to explain how he feels about CM Punk many times and he needed this place but it didn't need him, and that level of hypocrisy eats at him and it's hard for him to let go of it, and he talks about his violent intentions for the match on January 6th. The next match happened between Dexter Lumis vs The Miz, and the result of this match was Dexter Lumis won the match by disqualification when Karrion Kross and Authors of Pain attacks Lumis. Post-match, Final Testament and Miz surround Lumis and he raises his hands to the ceiling and the lights go down. When the lights come back, the rest of the Wyatt Six are surrounding the ring and a brawl breaks out. Eric Rowan throws Nikki Cross over the ropes and into the crush of the Final Testament. Backstage, War Raiders are hyping each other up when Damian Priest rolls up and they hype him up too and says that was good fun and he appreciated it. Ivar says they haven't always seen eye to eye but they've always had honor, and Eric says after last week, they owed him one. Priest says as long as they're at war with Judgment Day he'll go to war with them and congratulates them on the tag titles. Commentary recaps the New Day turn and they come out and take issue with the quality of Joe Tessitore's journalism. They get in the ring and point out that they could have beat E up real bad but they didn't, so why are we all still upset? Kofi Kingston complains that this was supposed to be a homecoming for him and his mom, who is in the front row looking mildly bemused by the whole deal. Xavier Woods says they gave us 10 of the best years of our lives but doesn't finish his point because the crowd is so loud. Kofi goes out to his mom and says he doesn't understand and she didn't come all this way for this and asks for a hug, but his mom won't hug him. She's had enough and she packs up to leave. Back from the commercial, Rey Mysterio runs into New Day and says he's been thinking and admits he could have done things differently and he wants to apologize for the way things went down last week. He's trying to help everybody be better, and what they did to Big E was out of pocket, just foul, and he thinks they should start fixing things by apologizing. Kofi Kingston asks apologize to who and they agree they won't apologize. Rey says okay, he tried, and tells them to get used to hearing New Day sucks chants. In the main event of the show, we saw a match between Drew McIntyre vs Sami Zayn, and the result of this match was Drew McIntyre defeated Sami Zayn by pinfall when corner exploder suplex connects by Zayn, Zayn feeling it, waiting for him to rise, but Drew came out very fast to hit Claymore. Post-match, Drew beats Sami down, but Jey Uso makes the save, hits a spear. Jey goes up top but Tama Tonga shoves him down and the all-new, all-different Bloodline is here. Drew McIntyre shoots a look and takes his leave as Tama sets on Jey Uso and beats him down further. Jacob Fatu goes for the Ode to Rikishi but Jey is faster and gets out of the way. Super kick to Tonga, right hands to Jacob, ducking a right from Solo Sikoa but Fatu gets the better of him. Samoan Spike connects and they turn their attention to Sami, Samoan Werewolf with the Ode to Rikishi and then the double jump moonsault. Samoan Spike for Zayn as well and they throw their ones up over Sami and Jey's fallen bodies and the show goes off the air. Let me in the comments section that you liked this week's Monday Night Raw or not. Please hit the like button, subscribe the channel and thanks for watching the video.